I'm Enigma Bizarre / Riley, and I am your host, alongside my co-host Brooke of Crashout Queens. Brooke, how are you today?
Great. Haven't listened to Conan's new song.
Which is crazy of you, because the song has defined us for the better week. For the viewers at home who don't know, me
Yep.
and Brooke are massive Conan Gray fans. So this song has been defined. We have literally been back and forth just sending each other TikToks of basically the countdown to the song coming out. How have you not already crashing out, as you said? How have you not? How?
Already crashing out.
How?
I had a bad day at work yesterday.
Sounds like the best time to listen to a Conan Gray song!
That's fair, but it was 12 a.m. and I didn't wanna.
Yeah, it came out at 12 a.m. last night. You know what the best part was? I was sat in bed, and I remember that I was staying up for something when I was at my computer. I'm like, I'm staying up for something, but I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, but I'm staying up for something. I don't remember what it is. So I started getting ready to go to bed, and I rolled into bed, and then it was 12:17, and I rolled over like a fucking vampire coming out of their corpse grave thing, and I was like, wait a minute, Conan had a song come out. I have to listen to it now. And so I turned it on my phone and I listened to it. It's good. He's gonna get us, girl. He's gonna get us with this album.
He's gonna get us at that concert. He's gonna kill us.
This album's gonna get us. It's gonna be
He's gonna get us.
It's gonna be the one. It's gonna be the one that gets us. People are saying it's a lot of it's gonna have to do with continuation of the song The Story.
Oh yeah.
From Kid Crow. A lot of people are guessing that that's the two main characters of the album.
That'll be fun.
Okay, but we shouldn't.
Okay.
We'll save Conan Gray until the album comes out. When the album comes out, then we'll be ready to talk about Conan Gray.
Then we can talk about.
That's our podcast to talk about Conan Gray.
Yeah.
So, what do some of your topics consist of? Out of curiosity.
It's only Melanie Martinez.
Okay, mine's all over the map. I've got Anime of the Year, I've got FNAF, I've got Vanilla Mace, and I've got lesbian breakups.
I can help you talk about FNAF.
I know! Well, let's start with Anime of the Year because we are a crash out thing, and this makes me want to crash the fuck out. I want to crash the fuck out so bad. You know what? I'll say this in first, all honesty, maybe Solo Leveling is the best thing since sliced bread. Maybe it's a phenomenal anime, and it's the best thing that's ever come out. I'm open to that, and maybe I'm entirely wrong for what I'm about to say. But the fact that Solo Leveling won so many things over the actual God's work and gift that was things like Free Ren, Apothecary Diary lost Drama of the Year, Best Main Character, Free Ren lost, Dungeons and Delicious lost, and Apothecary Diary lost, Anime of the Year was lost, Best New Series was lost. All of these things, Best New Series alone. Let's talk about it. Free Ren, Apothecary Diary.
Isn't even a new series though, right? It's been out.
They only did season 1. They were basing it off of season 1. They weren't basing it off of season 2. So it was new series. So Free Ren lost Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries lost Solo Leveling, Deletions in Dungeon lost Solo Leveling, and Kaiju number 8 lost Solo Leveling. All great shows. Mind you, I will say Kaiju number 8 was definitely not on the same level, but oh my god, what makes me so annoyed about this is exactly the problem and why we can't get more people to come see anime as an art form or as something cool, because you guys have to ruin it. Why do you guys have to ruin anime for everyone else? There are such beautiful, artful fucking things that we can all agree are beautiful and artful, and you chose the fucking Dude Bro anime? You chose the Dude Bro anime with no substance to win all these goddamn awards? This is why people think anime is a joke, because we give these things awards over things like Free Ren! Free Ren should have won everything! Free Ren should have cleaned fucking house!
When I go to London tomorrow and I walk into that EB Games, not GameStop, I refuse to call it GameStop, it's EB Games. When I walk in there, I better see some good ass fucking Free Ren figures, I swear to God.
You haven't even watched the show and you want Free Ren stuff.
And I'm here.
You would love the show, well, you have to get into it.
I have to get it. I have Hatsune Miku figures and I don't even listen to Hatsune Miku. Leave me alone.
That's so funny. Yeah,
you need at least one Hatsune Miku figure in the house for feng shui.
Yeah. For feng shui.
For feng shui.
For the energy of the room to be right.
For the energy of the entire house, I have 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm just so mad. I'm so mad that Best New Series lost. I'm so mad Best Main Character lost. Both Free Ren and Apothecary Diaries is crazy to both lose. I haven't said much about Apothecary Diaries. Apothecary Diaries was a great anime, don't get me wrong. It was way overhyped, I will say that, as someone who watched it.
It's all over my For You page.
But what was great about Apothecary Diaries is the first anime that actually takes like such a firm stance on like sexism and like a social commentary and actually has it. It's all about a girl who grew up in a brothel and grew up around sex work, and it spends time to actually like normalize and humanize sex workers. That's really actually fucking awesome, especially to see an anime. It's insane how progressive it is as an anime, and it's like based in such a non-progressive time too. Like they had all excuse to not be progressive in the slightest in this anime, and no one would have batted an eye, and they made the active decision to be so progressive in Apothecary Diaries and be so upfront. They have a female lead who is like super intelligent. She's not just like the happy-go-lucky lead. She's got like a great personality on her. She has like bitter moments and bad moments. She's like a great character all around. And she's just a lovely character to watch, and it's such a great anime for like the cultural zeitgeist in which we're living in right now, where we're seeing like modesty culture take over. It's such a great anime to watch and see that like anime for some reason is getting more progressive as we're like socially becoming worse and worse. So I can't believe that she lost. I think she deserved to win. I can't even remember. I think her name is Mao. I think her name is Mao. Yeah, Mao definitely should have won fucking best main character. And then we have Anime of the Year, which Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, and Delicious in Dungeons all lost to Solo Leveling. We can talk about Delicious in Dungeons a bit. Did you ever watch Delicious in Dungeons?
I wanted to so bad, but it dropped when we were in, I think, third year of college, so I never ended up watching it.
I think so too.
Because I was so...
It was a show I was actually surprised to like. I was surprised to like it because it looked like
sure
such...
that I would love it.
It's such a goofy show, but it was actually like quite good substance-wise too.
It's like a D&D type of anime, right? Where like
absolutely it is. Oh, absolutely
so
it is. It's right. It would be right up your alley for that. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, you're so right. It totally is that. But yeah, I'm just so mad. I am already crashing out within the first 5 minutes of the podcast over this because, oh my fucking god, I cannot get past. Frieren is such a beautiful story. It's such a lovely story. It's not about this power scaling thing that anime tends to fall into, where it's like the guy with the biggest dick is gonna win the fight. It's this beautiful story written about grief and like trauma and how you move past that, and how like those around us are the ones that keep us moving forward regardless of how like dark we feel at times. And it's just so good. I love Frieren. I actually have a media channel video that's been in the works now for over 2 years about Frieren and how it's like the torch carrier of Studio Ghibli, and how it's like great just like subtle storytelling, and it's so beautiful. And I just love Frieren. Frieren is probably like one of, if not my top anime of all time. I cannot believe it lost. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe Solo Leveling was fucking amazing, but I can't imagine Solo Leveling was fucking phenomenal. I never watched it, and I'm considering making a whole media channel video about it where I will watch Solo Leveling and force myself to sit through it just to see just to see. I have to know. I know I'm right. That's the thing. I know I'm right, and I'm gonna not feel good when I find out that I'm right. I'm gonna feel like shit. I'm gonna hate it the whole time.
I think the dude bros just kind of got in there for the votes, man. I don't even know if it was a vote type of.
It was voted. It was voted.
Oh,
it was voted.
I would have gone in there and bought the votes if I had known. Damn.
Yeah, we were so. I didn't vote actually. I probably should have. My vote might have changed things. Just like in the American election, my vote changed the entire election. I got Trump elected because I voted for the Green Party. I split the votes.
We were there on the 6th.
That's true. Me and Brooke were there on the 6th. We were there during the... What was that called? We just called it a good time. Thank you very much. We just called it a great time. With hot dogs and Kool-Aid. So we don't remember what you liberals call it.
But, oh my god, I can't even remember what they called it. I just remember them calling it
insurrection. It was the insurrection.
Oh,
we got there. We got there. We were at the insurrection.
Two Canadian queens going up there.
Yeah, we did. And what? So tell me about this Melanie Martinez stuff. What has Melanie Martinez done?
So I have like kind of like 2 points.
Okay,
I'm gonna
two big
start
points.
With the latest.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the latest, and then I'm gonna go a little bit back in time.
Okay, love it.
So the latest is I'm crashing out because how is she gonna like? I don't know what the word I'm gonna use. How is she gonna like say that she can just do this? She's selling a 100% polyester dress for $200 on sale, mind you. It's originally $250. 100% polyester. People were buying it at the shows. Like she was on tour because she's always on tour, and she was selling it for
True.
175 on the tour. And the first 2 days of her tour, she sold out of them. So she raised the price up more. She was selling it for less than 200 on the tour, but now on
Okay.
her website it's 250. And I think that that's crazy because people are like, this is made of 100% polyester. This is all plastic, and it's ripping apart on my body as soon as I put it on.
I'm just imagining the landfill singing "Back from the Dead" by Melanie Martinez. Back from the
That's what I'm
dead, back
saying.
from the dead. All the landfills are just in unison with each other.
Like, I
Um,
get like maybe wanting the dress because it's in the style of her K through 12 like uniform dresses from the
mm,
movie. Do you know what I mean? But like,
hmm
I'm not $200 for a polyester dress is crazy.
$200 for a piece of merch from an artist is crazy. Like Melanie
It's
Martinez
crazy
has
regardless. Yeah,
such a wide history of overcharging for shit though. Like I remember her
that's what I'm
perfumes or
saying.
whatever the fuck. I remember those
That's
came
what I'm gonna
out.
say about next. Yeah,
Yeah, so the
that's what I'm talking
perfumes
about.
that she sold, I remember were crazy. Because if you don't know, Melanie
Get
Martinez is
this.
like
Yeah,
this niche artist who's like
she's not even
she's
that
not
niche
even niche
anymore.
anymore, but she was like
She was
kind
back
of
in the
this
day
indie
when we were
artist who
younger.
has like this very unsettling vibe to her. Like a lot of it has to do with like child SA and like uncomfortable subjects around children specifically is what like a lot of her
Hmm.
vibe is basically. It's like putting children in uncomfortable circumstances and in uncomfortable contexts. So that's kind of
Yeah,
her vibe, and she's kind of been known for that. And so now she's like kind of made it more mainstream, and she's got like I would say it's like it's a bug alien, right? Like that's what her vibe is now.
she's like,
She's like
yeah, it's
a
like she
bug
like
alien.
died at the end of K through 12, and she's reborn as this like bug alien
Yeah,
thing.
her child persona is dead, so now she's like this weird bug alien thing. Basically, she's like she encompasses like she's not niche anymore, but she still does act niche, I guess is the best way to put it. Like you
She
think
acts
about
niche, but like she's super like kind of mainstream now. Like she's all over
yeah,
TikTok. Like all of the kids
absolutely.
are finding her, just like I did when I was 13. I found her, but
But
now they're
she
finding her.
acts
Well,
super
she's more
niche still
popular.
with her weird little antics, I will say.
Yeah,
Which like
and
I like a branding, but like I never
this is
liked the
like
child stuff. The child stuff I always thought was
no,
weird. The child stuff I always
just
thought
like
was like
that coloring book that she had for the Crybaby album was a little strange, especially
yeah.
for us art majors.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Okay.
I say that I wasn't a fan of her. I liked her whatever the fuck the Alien album was called.
Her
Portals?
portals, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that album, but I only like two songs on the album, so I don't even know if you could call me a fan. But
Not yeah, exactly. But
that's about it.
and then the more like that was like while she was on tour. This one, so you brought up her selling
Yeah,
parfumes,
you
not
gotta call them
perfumes,
perfumes. I remember you have
parfumes,
to call them perfumes. You have to
because
call
they're
them
not
perfumes.
perfume, because they're not perfume, they're parfum. Like there's a difference. I'm 100% sure there's a difference, and
What
that's why
that
I have to call
difference
them something
is,
else.
don't ask us. We're two
I
animation
think I
majors. We
think
aren't smart enough.
I think perfume is like a spray, and parfume or whatever is like a oil that you rub on yourself.
You couldn't even spray it?
No, you can't spray it. It's like a stick in the liquid that you like just rub on your skin.
Oh, lovely.
Like
Make me
like
do
what
all
are
my
the
fucking
alpha
work.
males doing with the with the pheromones? You know, like they rub the pheromone sticks on their arm or something, the
What
alpha
are men
males.
doing with sticks? Huh?
Side tangent. So alpha males, the guys that are on Reddit and claiming that they're nice guys, they're doing this thing called pheromone maxing where they don't shower and they rub these pheromone sticks. I'm doing air quotes, pheromone sticks on their like bodies to make themselves like smell more attractive to
Do
females.
you
And
think
I'm
that
saying
if
females because that's what they're saying,
do you think that
not
these
women.
men realize that if they just like read a book and
Took a
like
shower.
took a like my favorite thing about these men is they'll do all this like firstly what kills me is all of this gender affirming care but they don't believe in trans rights. Like you're doing gender affirming care, sweetie. This is gender affirming. You're doing this to affirm your gender as a male. You take
Hmm.
testosterone
Hmm.
and stuff to affirm your gender as a male. Why the fuck do you have an issue when trans people do it? That always blows my mind. Secondly, these men make it so complicated to get in women's pants. Do you know how easy it is to get into a woman's pants if you just like have dignity, take a shower, and like
Take a shower.
believe they can vote?
Please.
Like
Yeah.
most women, literally, that's all they ask for. All women are asking for these days is believe in my right to vote and take a shower, and that's all they're asking
what
for.
I'm saying.
That's all women are
Take
asking
a
for nowadays.
shower. I hate when my male coworkers. I love the assistant manager of my place to death. Love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when him and all of my other male coworkers go, I haven't read a book in ages. What do you mean you haven't read a book in ages?
To be fair,
Just
I don't read books. I don't read books.
Okay,
So.
you can, but read something. Like read.
To be fair, I have been working on one.
Book.
I have been working on one book for like the past half a year, and I've yet to finish it. So.
Is it that one, Solitaire or whatever?
Yep.
My friend's thinking about getting rid of her Heartstopper books if you're interested.
I already have them, bitch. I don't want no cheap.
My bad.
I don't want no cheap secondary.
Okay. Anyway, back to the perfumes or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
So she sold these big ones. I don't know exactly how much they held, but she sold like 5 of them in a little, and not a little plastic. It was a plastic container, not even like metal or anything, in a plastic container.
Yep.
For
she produces a lot of waste. It seems. That's
I want to say like $200. For
it was a lot.
5 perfumes.
It was a lot for tiny. For the viewer.
No. These ones that I'm talking about were like small, but they were like not as small as the ones that I'm about to talk about.
Oh, so, well, for the viewer, they were about like this big. I'm putting my hand up and I'm showing. They were about like the size of your
5 milliliters. For the new ones so she had those ones, and they were also outrageously expensive. These new ones that she's coming out with this week or something are $85 for 5 milliliters. For context, 5 milliliters is a tester size at most stores.
I was gonna say that's like really tiny. That's like half of what I just put up to the camera, I think. So it'd probably be about like this big.
5 milliliters for $85 for only one of them, not a whole set, just one.
Oh my god!
And it's on a little plastic keychain in a little plastic case.
Oh, like a Labubu.
Not even like, like a little. Don't even get me started on Labubus.
What do you want? You don't like Labubu?
I don't like Labubus. I think
you don't like Labubu?
I think they're a little ugly.
I love Labubus. I love Labubus.
Do you have a Labubu?
I do not have a Labubu. I don't like them that much.
You have a Labubu?
No, I don't.
I just think they're a little ugly.
I think they're so cute. I love Labubu.
And I don't. Let's talk about. You know what? Let's ditch Melanie Martinez for a second. Let's talk about 30-year-olds and like dropping of products that they don't need, like Labubus, for example. Okay, so
she's about to get political. She's about to get political.
Listen, I understand maybe lining up for like a new video game system or like a new video game, maybe. Like video games are pushing it like a lot. Like I get like something expensive like a game console lining up overnight for like Black Friday. I get that. I get you. Black Friday shopping, I get you. Lining up outside of a mall for hours for a $30 blind box that's not even that cute.
I so get it. I'm so sorry. I so get it. I think it makes sense.
Getting mad at the employees when they limit
that's pushing it.
Maybe 2 or 3 boxes a person because they want to have enough for the people that are lined up outside. I'm sorry you can't buy 30 of them.
Yeah, that's pushing it. I agree. Don't get mad at the employees.
Because all of the videos I've seen of people buying Labubus have been people who don't line up properly for an event like this. Which
we're in a Labubu
don't line
crisis.
up in the first place. We're not anymore. Nobody's buying them anymore.
Really? We were in a Labubu crisis for the longest time.
It's a fad. That's what I'm trying to get at, is that these blind box things are made like they're just like fast fashion. They're made to maybe be popular for a little bit and then you forget about it. You hang on your bag and you're like, oh yeah, I was obsessed with these and now it's just on my bag. But lining up, getting mad at employees when they ask you to line up, getting mad at them when they say you can only have so many per person, like throwing a fit in the store is just horrid.
I agree with that. I always thought that like also buying the people who bought like the entire boxes of them too is like insane. Too,
yeah, like
that's
you're
just
getting
wasteful.
the store display of a blind box.
Yeah, and you know that 90% of those Labubus are going straight in the trash right after.
That's what I'm saying. Like, either that or they're reselling them on eBay or whatever,
For
or
twice the
Kijiji
amount.
for not even more than twice the amount.
Yeah, the Labubu stocks went
Some
crazy for
Labubus
a
are getting
while.
they're selling for like $100.
I want
Not
the
100, 500.
I want the big Labubu. I want the big human-sized Labubu. I want that Labubu.
You do not want a human-sized
I
Labubu.
want
That
a
thing's probably as
human-sized
tall as I
Labubu.
am.
I know, and I want it. I want that human-sized Labubu.
5'4" Labubu.
I want my 5'4" Labubu. I want my 4-inch
I'm
tall
right here,
Labubu.
Boogie.
You dress up in a monster costume next time I see you. You're like, I got you your Labubu.
Yeah, graduation next week. Oh my god.
Okay, back to Melanie Martinez if you would like for
Okay,
her parfums.
so I think it's crazy that she's selling those things for $85 for 5 milliliters. Like, it's disgusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't. I think it's back to people are still buying it, so that makes her think that she can still do that because people are still spending the money on it. Like, enough of her fans are still doing it to spend the money on. You know?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, her fans are very much, but if I haven't seen anything about that person's fan base, it's that her fans are insane. Granted, most of them are like feral 13-year-olds, so I get it, because like at that age, you like ride or died for like any like celebrity that you were in love with, so I get it. The whole parasocial relationships and like being able to like understand what a parasocial relationship is in a healthy meaning does not exist at that age. You just literally are in love with that person no matter what. So I get it, but like that's swiping mommy and daddy's credit card is my thought process always, and then it's like
I think parasocial relationships have gotten worse now in the age of the internet.
I think that's 100% true, but I think I don't know if they've gotten worse or they've just become more normal, which I think doesn't immediately mean
it's a little bit of both, because I definitely remember like being obsessed with like a few like creators on the internet when I was like 13, just being on the internet for the first time. But I was not doing the shit that the kids are doing now.
Like what? Give an example. What are the Melanie Martinez kids doing? Do you remember we were the same idiots who did the cinnamon challenge? So
I didn't do the cinnamon challenge. Did you?
No, but we were a part of the generation that did.
I'm happy to say that I was old enough to not be one of the people.
I knew people doing the cinnamon challenge.
Thought about no, I'm talking about the Tide Pod challenge. I'm just happy to be like older than that.
Yeah.
The cinnamon challenge, like you ate a mouthful of cinnamon and you might have died maybe, but Tide Pods were definitely more deadly than the cinnamon challenge.
Did you ever do that? They also had the one where it was like you would get basically choked out. Did you ever do that one?
What?
On the playground, there was one where you basically got choked out on the playground. It was a trend. Yeah. I think it was Slenderman, maybe? I don't remember. It was like I think it was like if you push on a certain part of your chest, it like cuts off the airflow. And so it was like there would be a test of like how long you'd be able to hold on for / like not need your airflow for, which obviously was just choking. Kids were just choking each other out on the playground is what I'm saying. Yeah. And yeah, that was a huge trend at my school. People did that all the time.
See, the more things you tell me about your school, the crazier it is that I went to a public school and you didn't.
Yeah, that was like totally
you would never
normal.
guess that I went to a public elementary school and high school, and Riley didn't.
Yep.
That's insane. Okay. Anyway,
anything more about Melanie?
So, okay, we're gonna keep going with the perfumes. I think
still with the perfumes
that she's because I have one more point to make about a different thing, but it's piggybacking off the perfumes. If she wants to sell something for a big amount, I think she should lower the price of the perfumes or whatever, because that's egregious. And if you want to sell something for a bit more money, bring back the Crybaby perfume.
Okay.
In the little sippy cup bottle, people are going rabid over other people. Like, Melanie fans are tearing other people apart, like, because they still have, or they did get to have the Crybaby perfume from back in the day.
Yeah.
Because it was like a limited time sale. She only sold it once. She didn't bring it back for anything. As soon as it was sold out. And people are like treating this like it's a national treasure. And I think if she wants to make more money, she should just bring back the Crybaby perfume. If
So we're giving
people
her
still
business
trust her.
advice.
I'm giving her business advice right now on this tiny little podcast.
Yeah, giving her economics advice right now.
I just think like it's insane to sell a 5 milliliter thing for $85 when you could be selling a big thing of perfume for maybe the same price that people actually want.
I mean, but if she were, but I
your-
mean, reasonably speaking, she would probably
I don't
sell
even
it
think she
for
should
way
sell the
more.
That's what I'm saying is I don't even think she should sell it for that much. I think she should sell it for a little bit less.
But she won't.
Because keep in
but
mind that
she
this
won't.
$85 is American.
Yeah.
So that's way more for the two of us.
Dear God,
if we
yes.
were to purchase this.
Are you in the market for Melanie Martinez perfumes?
No. I'm just simply telling you that it is insane that it's $85 for Americans. You'd think that price was for the Canadians, wouldn't you?
No, because Melanie Martinez is like, I know that she's
but
known
like if it was any other business, you'd think that the $85 was the Canadian price.
For the small little perfumes, yeah, I'd fucking hope so.
Yeah. Okay, my last Melanie Martinez topic.
Oh, here we go. I'm in.
We're going back in time to 2016,
Don't
back
say
when
the
I was a
line. Don't say the
very
line.
avid Melanie fan.
Okay.
I wasn't like crazy. I wasn't posting about Melanie on fucking social media or
Yeah,
anything.
just wait till we uncover that fan account. Just wait till we uncover that fan account, bitch.
It was an Undertale fan account back in 2016. Thank you.
Well, you still had a fan account. I'm very proud to say I never had a fan account of anything.
Yeah, I had a lot of followers too. Thank you.
Oh my God, she's famous. Well, bring them over.
Go
log back into it and advertise our podcast and bring them over.
I have a horrible thing to tell you is that I have just rebranded that fan account into my personal Instagram account. I just deleted everything that was fandom and it's just my Instagram now.
Damn, she's stealing clout. She's stealing clout.
Yeah, I still have like 300 followers.
Stealing her own clout.
Okay, so back in 2016, Melanie Martinez was accused of Timothy. I don't remember her last name.
Oh, you can't say that. The algorithm's gonna fuck us now. You have to say S-A.
Okay, S-A.
Well, it's too late. My ass is gonna be too lazy to take it out now, so it's in now.
Well, too late. We've already dropped a lot of curses today anyway.
Yeah, but there are certain ones you can't say. Like, you can't say the R word.
Well, no shit.
No, not that R word, as in the crime R word.
Oh!
Grape. You can't say grape.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
you can't say that. There's certain words that you just can't say, or else your video gets.
Think you knew what word I was thinking about.
Of course I did. There's not that many R words. There's not that many, believe it or not.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, continue on. So she essayed someone.
So, well, it's all alleged. Guys, we have to say allegedly on the internet.
Allegedly. Everything we say here is allegedly.
So I remember, like, people, like, this Timothy girl came out with it. I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Timothy came out with it and was like, guys, Melanie did this to me, and, like, here's my entire story. And this is where I stopped being a Melanie fan. Not because of this, but because of how the fans acted. I mean, it was a little bit because of this, but also how the fans reacted was insane. Like, first of all, I'm not going to support someone who has abuse allegations behind them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fans were getting up on YouTube and, like, Instagram, Tumblr, wherever you could, not TikTok, because remember, this was 2016.
Wasn't a thing.
Wasn't a thing.
Well, they're up on Musical.ly.
Well, they were up on Musical.ly, but I didn't have Musical.ly.
They're making dance videos that's like, Melanie didn't do it, guys, and they're hitting the well.
Guys, here's the proof. Here's a picture that Timothy took up. This is real, by the way. Here's a picture Timothy took with Mel and Melanie after they said that this happened. This happened on the 12th. They took these pictures on the 14th. So I don't think it happened, guys. And like, here's this receipt of them acting friendly. Like, this is the day that Timothy said the essay happened, and here's receipts of them talking very friendly after that.
Oh my God.
Right? So I stopped being a Melanie fan after that. But then Melanie came out on Twitter, and there's like no screenshots of this whatsoever, but
That's crazy.
She deleted the original tweet. She deleted the original tweet, and I'm sure you could still find like a video that has these tweets in it.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets up and she goes, she never said no. She goes, Timothy never said no. That's
crazy.
just because
she thought that was her big one.
No.
She thought that was her big one.
That was her magnum opus right there.
Yeah, she thought she was like, oh, queen. She said, the way that I'm gonna gag these bitches. She bundled up her hair for that, and she thought, just wait, queens. Then she clicked send on that tweet.
She refreshed her split die for that.
Yeah.
Ugh, but like it was like a horrible thing, and like people on the internet were just like, guys, Timothy's making it up. Like you're some kind of detective. Like,
well, we famously side with victims here on the Crashout Queens podcast, so know where we stand on that. And we think Melanie Martinez is a freak.
I mean, we're freaks too, but like...
But we're in the fun way.
Not in that way.
We're freaks. We're freaks, as in we go to the cosplay orgy at the Comic-Cons, and then we come here and report back to you guys about it.
Yeah.
In the fun way about it.
You know what my coworker said to me yesterday?
What did your coworker say to you?
We were talking about a coworker that we didn't like, and she goes, "Well, he's like you if he was and then she goes to say the word weird, and I go, more weird, and she goes, "No, you're not weird. It's just like if you were like funny weird and not funny haha."
The fuck? What does that even mean?
I know what that means. Like, I've seen the video of what she's referencing.
Oh, can't say that I have.
I
fear I'm getting aged out again.
Crazy. Yeah, you're getting aged out again.
So,
but I just kind of had to look at her.
Side-eye her?
Yeah, I just side-eye her a little bit.
Side-eyeing is less effective when you have no eyebrows, fun fact.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So FNAF's back in the cultural zeitgeist again.
Five Nights at Freddy's! I love Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's is coming back because one of the games that I play, and I want to get Brooke to play, Dead by Daylight, is doing a Five Nights at Freddy's collab.
I want to make it known. That people have been making Dead by Daylight x Five Nights at Freddy's collab ideas and videos and 3D animations for years. And you know what was in every single one of those fan-made works?
Mm-hmm.
The fire axe. The fire axe was a staple in every single iteration.
So I was actually going to ask about this because apparently the fire axe isn't canon, it's fanon.
It is never a thing in any Five Nights at Freddy's game. There is never a fire axe.
So what is with the fire axe? Explain that to me, won't you?
I mean, it's the thing, like, so the thing is that in Springtrap's, like lore, is that in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, he's a rotting corpse inside the animatronic suit. He's, like, possessing the suit. And at the end of the week, at the end of the 5 nights, the person you play as, which is heavily theorized to be Springtrap's son, Michael Afton, burns down the facility. He burns down Fazbear Frights.
Mm-hmm.
And... so, but Springtrap makes it out, and that's like what his iconic line, "I always come back," is like kind of like
iconic.
It's not like from that, like his I always come back is like from like FNAF 6 or whatever, but like he always comes back, and that's the thing is that like a fire axe is used to break stuff down in a fire. That's why it's called fire.
So
axe.
It's just assuming that that's how he got out.
Just
everyone's just assuming.
It's not even just assuming he got out. It's just a reference to there being a fire in the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, I think. Because it's a fire axe, it's a fire, you know, the Fazbear Frights burned down. Like,
well, yeah, if you don't know, actually, I guess I should have said this. Five Nights at Freddy's is a hit horror game that popped off in the early 2010s,
2014,
right?
2014, first game came out.
So mid-2010s, it pops off. It's this game about this security guard who takes a role at a Chuck E. Cheese-like facility where basically there are animatronics, but the animatronics after late hours go, ooh, spooky bad, do. The
animatronics tend to get a little bit freaky at night.
Yeah, so, and then your job in the game is to just stay alive for 5 nights at Freddy's, if you will, and you have to stay alive. Yeah. And just to sit and survive in the security room and make it out alive by the end of it by clicking on doors and lights and stuff and clicking on little meanders and buttons to make it through the night. So it got added to a game called Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a game famously where there are 4 survivors, 1 killer. The survivors are tasked to do I think 5 generators and then open an exit gate to leave the trial and run away, where the killer has to kill them all before they do that. How does the killer do that? He puts them on hooks and stuff. So these 2 games have now come together and created a collab, and I think it's really cool that apparently something that is more fanon than canon made it in than actual canon. That's actually kind of sick.
It's cool because they consulted Scott on it,
yeah,
the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, and he put that in there himself. Obviously, like he had to have said, "Give him a fire axe."
Scott Cawthon
Cool,
famously is super,
he's famously
what's
like
it
super
called?
like fan made like works. Like
But not
he's
just
like
that, he's
heavy
really
into it.
careful with his license. Like he doesn't give it to anybody,
Yeah,
right? Doesn't
he
he
doesn't
like
give it. He does not give it to anybody.
Yeah, he keeps that shit under lock and key.
I think he like snatched it from Funko once.
Did he? That
Because
makes
they like
sense.
because they spoiled something, I think, and he just kind of like fucking grabbed that back.
Yeah, I know he's famously I didn't know he was actually really good with fandom stuff. I know he was famously always about like keeping his license very under lock and key. Like he does not give it up to anybody.
No, he did this thing called like the FanWorks like collaboration or collective or whatever, where he would fund people to make fan games, and they would be like this whole competition. That's where like FNAF Plus came from. It was like a remake of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with like actual animation on the screen instead of it just being like a sprite like screen that would show up. Like
that's fun.
Animatronics would actually like move and stuff. And it was actually really cool. R.I.P. FNAF Plus.
What's it called? So that's our new FNAF news. I was gonna say something else to you about FNAF. I don't remember what it was though.
I love Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, we know. I guess fun update. I will be playing FNAF for my first time ever tomorrow. Yay! So by the time this podcast comes out, I will have already played it. The video will be up on my YouTube channel probably, but I will be playing through FNAF on my Twitch stream tomorrow. For the first time ever, and I'll have to get back to you about how that goes.
Yeah, I believe in you. I'll be in London, unfortunately, but
yeah. What are you going out to London for?
I need to shop for grad and my cousin's wedding.
What are you shopping for grad for?
Oh, like an outfit. I don't have nice clothes.
You don't have just like a button-up shirt. You don't just need the shirt.
No.
No shirt pant. She don't got no shirt pant.
I don't own pants that don't have holes in them.
So our next topic, which I thought would be interesting because we talked about Vanilla Mace last week. At this point, we should just do a weekly Vanilla Mace update because we love.
You want to talk about
we love her.
Ethan Klein and Vanilla Mace? Do you want to talk about that?
That's what my thing is. H3 versus Vanilla Mace. H3 versus Vanilla Mace. What's our thoughts? What's our opinions? How are we feeling? Because actually, I want to talk about this because if you don't know, I am famously an ex Ethan Klein fan. I used to be a huge Ethan Klein fan. I loved him once upon a time. I loved when him and Hassan had their podcast Leftovers. If you don't know, I'm actually a huge Hassan fan, and then I became an Ethan fan through Hassan because Hassan being if you don't know, Hassan is an influencer online. He mainly talks about politics and political goings-ons and happenings around the world. Ethan Klein is quote-unquote a comedian YouTuber or a comedy YouTuber who has...
He ain't comedy anymore.
He's not, but he claims he still is. So I'm trying to be honest and earnest where I can. So he has now made a huge shift into talking about more political side of things and more political aspects of things. So he has now kind of gone more into Hassan's reign. At one point, they had a podcast together called Leftovers, where they are both left-leaning commentators. So they would come together and talk about all the ridiculous stuff the right does. Eventually, they broke up. They had their big breakup, and there was no working it out on the remix like Lord and Charlie XCX. They have since gotten into massive fights on live streams and such. And now we get into our current subject, which is out of my special interest, but I know a lot about H3 because I've been watching him slowly actually crash out. I mean, we should have him on as a guest on the podcast, realistically. He's crashing out like a crash out queen. He's the crash out queen.
He would call me a waiting room.
He is
call me a waiting room.
Yes, he would. Absolutely, he would. He is the crash out queen. So we'll have. I'll work in talking to his people to get him on. I'll work it in. And so him and Vanilla Mace went at it recently. And do you want to talk about the Vanilla Mace stuff? Do you know?
I think it's hilarious because she only commented on his clothing brand, Teddy Fresh, and I kind
of Vanilla Mace is another content creator, by the way, just a funny meme content creator.
I love her.
We love Vanilla Mace.
I think she was definitely right in turning down the Teddy Fresh thing because Teddy Fresh makes like
Teddy Fresh is Ethan Klein's clothing brand, just as an FYI for those who are curious.
They're like it's like these big pastel like blocky colors, like one sleeve's one color, the entire like torso's one.
Yeah, I liked it when they did it for the first time, but they made it their whole brand now, and it's like whole brand, too much.
And it just looks like overgrown baby clothes. It looks like you're wearing a baby.
Yeah,
it looks like you're wearing a onesie.
I liked it when they did it the first time, but when they made it their entire existence, I was like, okay, this is a lot.
Like, I'm sure you could have made fire clothes if you didn't decide that that was your entire brand. But like
Mm-hmm.
what she did was when she mentioned on stream that Teddy Fresh reached out and said, "Hey, do you want a PR collab?" She made like little farting noises into the mic, and
She
I thought
quite
that was
literally did this. I'll use my cam to represent it. She put her hand over her nose, went ew, stink, yuck.
and she's so real for that one.
And she was
Because
funny,
I
and it
wouldn't
was
want that
funny.
either.
I am
And it
fighting
was funny. And
because
it
you
was
know
funny.
what? In
And it
that
was
situation,
hilarious.
you have to go with like you're offering to give these people your clothing and stuff. You have to know that not everyone's gonna say yes to it. That's a really funny and like not that crazy way like that. So easily, Teddy Fresh reposts that and like makes a joke out of it. It's no harm, and they get marketing out of it. They get free marketing out of it if they do
Yeah.
that. If they go about that properly and right, like it's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. She didn't say anything personally. She literally just said
No.
"stink" EU. That was
But
funny as
then,
fuck.
yeah. But then on a different live stream, I think it was, like maybe like the next stream, people in her like her chat were like, Ethan's gonna be so mad that you like did that, and she's
Yeah.
still holding her ground. And queen that holds her ground here, she's like, I don't
I love
care.
her. I love her
I
so
love her.
much.
My unbothered queen. She doesn't care. Like,
Well, do you
whatever.
remember
So
her
then
quote?
Ethan,
Do you know her quote? I love her quote.
what's the quote again?
The quote is, "Oh no, the millennials should only wear pastel are coming for me. Whatever will I do?" I was on the floor rolling, dude. I was on the floor fucking rolling.
It's even funnier in the context that Riley owns multiple pairs of pastel clothing.
I do. I love pastel clothing. That's funny. It's a self-read. I'll take it. I'll take
No,
it. It's a self-read. I'll take it. I'll take it. I love
That's
pastel
good, that's
clothing.
good.
I think it's so funny, though. I think she's so funny for that.
She is so funny for that. But then Ethan got up on his, what was it, Instagram?
Yeah, he only uses Instagram
And
stories.
Ugh, horrible. He gets up on his Instagram stories and he posts that clip of her saying that about the like people in pastel clothing like coming after her,
Mhm.
and he's basically just mad. He's like, do you think he calls her like a Zionist or no? Yeah,
No, he doesn't call her a Zionist. He talks about how he's Jewish and everyone's dogpiling on him and how she's being anti-Semitic.
She's being anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's the one, anti-Semitic. He's saying that she only hates the clothing brand
because
and
he's
him
Jewish.
because he's Jewish.
Yeah.
And that's simply not true because every single comment she's made on the clothes have been a dig at the style of clothing.
Yeah. I've been a dig at the style of clothing, it's been about Ethan crashing out because she has mentioned that Ethan is on a crash out of the century and how she's not comfortable talking to Ethan because that was a big thing. When it came down, when she was talking about it on stream, she literally said, even if Ethan wasn't crashing out like the crash out of the century, your clothes are ugly as fuck. I'm not going to wear them, basically, is what she said. So it literally came down to like, hey, guess what? I'm not wearing your clothing because you're crashing out, but also because they're fucking ugly. Like she had two reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Both were two valid reasons. Ethan has, if you look at anything Ethan has done recently, he's on the crash of the century. You should watch like his podcast clips. How he treats his employees is fucking insane, dude. It's genuine abuse.
He hit the audio and visual button to like cut out the stream for a bit, and he didn't, and he kept his mic on.
Yeah.
And how he was talking to his staff when he thought the mic wasn't on was insane.
Isn't it?
Like how are people still supporting this guy? Like
I don't
he's
get
talking down to so many people, and he's just a content creator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a millionaire content creator who keeps he'll rag on. I mean, I shouldn't get into this because this is going to be a whole thing about Ethan crashing out, which could be a podcast episode in itself. But one of the things he always talks about is how like people can't just donate money and call it a day, but all he does is donate money and calls it a day. Like he literally is like, I'm donating money, but then whenever someone else donates money, he's always like, you think donating money is enough? You think it's good enough? Da 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 da. But that's literally all Ethan does is he just donates money. But yeah, I was interested to hear your perspective on the Vanilla Mace versus Ethan Klein.
I think.
Oh my fucking god, I'm so over Ethan Klein.
I am so over him as well. The iDubbbz video, the actual like he made an actual content copy.
Yeah, I watched it.
Let me tell you, while you were an Ethan Klein fan, I was an iDubbbz
I was
fan.
also an iDubbbz fan once upon a time. I was also an iDubbbz fan.
I loved his content cops, and when I opened my YouTube after work one day and I found a content cop in the year of our Lord 2025, I was hyped. And while it wasn't in the style of his other content cops, because he has grown as a person, he has, and it's not the same time.
Very different.
It was. I feel like it was more like not as much of a drag as it was.
I thought it was great.
like being upset that his friend has like done
I thought it
this.
was a super well-made content
ex-friend.
cop because of the fact that he
Yeah.
was like, the point of the content cop wasn't to actually like cancel Ethan or bring him down. It was to just say
No.
that like we're different people. Like I respect you, you respect me. Like let's both like get over this. Like let's not stay fighting. Let's not continue to like have this childness. And like in the end of the video, like I remember him reaching out his hand to Ethan, being like, we can talk about this like privately, and we don't have to make this like a big internet thing. Like let's stop this now. And then Ethan like didn't take that hand, and I was like, that
Did not
speaks
take
a
that
lot.
hand.
That speaks a lot to you. But we should
does,
move on. We should
honestly.
move on past Ethan Klein because I could talk about him for ages, and that could be a podcast in itself.
Honestly.
So my next one is the lesbians are in shambles on TikTok.
Why are the lesbians
My
in shambles
TikTok
on
lesbians
TikTok?
are in shambles.
Who are your TikTok lesbians?
One of our paladins, our leaders in our army, have fallen. Emmy and M, if you don't know, Emmy is you probably know who Emmy is. Emmy used to be friends with Brittany Broski. She used to be really popular on TikTok. She has like the
no, but her name's Sarah. No, I don't think I know.
Okay, well, Emmy and M are two lesbians who were dating, and then randomly out of nowhere, Emmy has a huge content and huge following.
Oh.
She's like massive, and she used to post her and M a lot, but randomly one day, all of a sudden, she posted a video of her dancing to a Glee cover in the street, and the caption was, "I got cheated on, lol." And everyone was like, wait, what? What the fuck happened? What? Because this was like, these were our ride or die lesbians. These lesbians were like our sanctuary. These two were like perfect for each other from what they were painted as. And the only reason why people knew it was real was, I guess, like months prior, Emmy had posted to TikTok saying that like if her and M ever broke up, she would dance to a Glee cover in the street, and that would be the sign. So people were like, wait, she's being for real. She's being for real. And then I guess the M person did make a response. I didn't get to see the response. M has now since deleted her TikTok. So her TikTok doesn't exist anymore because Emmy made a response to M's response being like, basically she's lying. If she lied to me, she's going to lie to all of you. Like, it doesn't matter. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Yada, 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 yada. And that's all I have for my lesbians and my things of the week. So shall we get into your name?
Oh, YN, your name.
So me and Brooke have decided we're having a new segment on the podcast for every week. We're gonna have
one episode in. We've decided a new segment.
A new segment already. We've decided, and we want it to be like, we're gonna be like a cheaper, much more poor version of We're gonna have a word that we have to come up with things to say about that word. I only have one thing to say about this word. We did start off with a pretty unique word, which is Y/N, aka your name in fan. What is it? Fan something. What are they called?
Fan culture,
fandom. But what is it? What are they in? They're in something in the books that you read. What? Fanfic. Fanfic.
Yeah, fanfic. It's like a stand-in. So like it's you shipping yourself with the character.
Yeah, it's a self-insert.
Like YN means your name, so you put your name where YN would be, right?
Yeah.
I first encountered YN all the way back in the year of our Lord 2015. So
I was gonna say you should take the reins here because you've got so much more on this than I do. So
been 10 years. The first time I ever encountered it was, bring it back, the Undertale fandom.
Of course.
And that's the only other time. That's the only time I've ever, because you know you're young. How old was I? I was 11 in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Showing my age here. I was 11. So, I was not as cultured as I am now. I admit. I was on Wattpad, but this is before the time of ads on
Now
Wattpad.
She's an AO3 girly.
I'm an AO3 girly because there's no ads. Because it's better writing. And I stand on business. But YN kind of does hold a special place in my heart.
Okay.
Purely for the fact that was like the beginning of me getting into fandom spaces, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the most popular fandom thing I can remember from being in the Undertale fandom was, of course, every single person who was into Undertale was shipping themselves with Sans.
So I was gonna ask, did you ship yourself with Sans?
I'm going to be so completely honest, while YN does hold a space in my heart,
you never got into it.
I've never wanted to put myself in a story.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be a character. Like,
she's
I've always
a humble
wanted
queen.
to be. I've always wanted to be like one of the characters. Like, I've always like if I had to put myself into a thing, I'd be one of the characters. I wouldn't put myself in there.
Mm.
You know?
She's a humble queen.
But I mean, I have read the fics.
Okay.
But I always I didn't imagine it being myself in the fics though.
You imagined it being some hot blonde bombshell from the villa.
Actually, I was very emo at the time, so a hot new bombshell has entered the villa.
Yeah. And she's got a real fuck ass blunt ass cut, right? Blunt ass bob.
Yup. But YN does hold a space in my heart, and I'm very excited to see it brought back on TikTok with that gray blob.
Yeah, I've always my close proximity to all this is really funny because I have very opposite. I did not. So growing up, I was fearful of the internet. I did not use it at all. I did not use the internet until well into high school. So my experience with the internet is very different, and I was very fearful of the internet. The internet literally was something that I always steer clear of. So I never got into fandom spaces ever. I was unintentionally taking part in fandom spaces in a lot of ways, but by myself on my own because I didn't know that there was such thing as like fandom and stuff.
It was only Facebook back in the day.
So, okay, bitch. Okay, bitch. Anyways, so I never got into fanfic reading and all that. I had a friend who was really into fanfic reading, actually, but I never got into it. But I never got into much of it. The one that I had a romantic entanglement with.
Oh.
Yup. Same one. Wouldn't believe. So I actually have nothing for YN. All I have for YN is there is this person on my TikTok feed, and I love her dearly, and I've lost her. I've lost her.
What do you mean you've lost her? Who is
She's gone now. She used to exist, but I can't find her anymore. I think she goes by she. Her little character that she always made herself as was always feminine presenting. So I'm gonna assume to be on the safe side here. It was this girl who would do, instead of YN, she would do shifting. Do you know what shifting is?
Let's talk about shifting another day. I have so much to say about shifting, and it's gonna make the people mad.
Go on. Make the people mad. Go on, make the people mad.
I think you're just dreaming. I think you're just maladaptive daydreaming. I don't think you're shifting. I do not think you're in a different world. I think you are maladaptive daydreaming.
Yeah, I mean, I think I
think you are making a story up
know?
No, some people think that they are actually genuinely sending their spirit off into this desired reality of this video game or this.
But they're not real.
This TV show. No.
But the games aren't real. There is no other reality where they exist. It's fiction.
Exactly. That's why I think no, because people do actually believe that they shift.
Oh, I thought that they were all in on it.
This is what makes the people mad. No, this is what makes the people mad is that you say that. You say, I don't think you're shifting. I think you're just making up a story in your head. I think you're just like falling asleep and like, I think you're like, what is it when you dream and like you're in a dream so you can control it?
Fuck, I know the word for it, but lucid I can't
dreaming.
say. Lucid. Yeah, lucid.
I think you're honestly you are just tricking yourself into lucid dreaming and just.
Fair enough. I mean, I would agree with you. I thought everyone knew that, so that's news to me. Well, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about my experience with shifting. This fairy tale. This one was so funny to me. No, I have not done it before, but I used to watch this TikTok because this girl would post her shifting adventures on TikTok, and I used to watch them and take part in them and watch and be a part of it. And it was in the JJK universe, Jujutsu Kaisen, if you will.
Too.
Bitch, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised. So I don't remember much about.
Oh my god, Enigma, you're here!
I don't remember
the Enigma profile picture.
I don't remember the plot of this. What I do remember though is she had a romantic entanglement with the character Gojo, which if you don't know is the white-haired character. You've all seen him. But this was the worst part. This was the worst part, Brooke. There was definitely like age issues involved because she had a romantic entanglement with Gojo, but also
Gojo's like in his 20s or 30s.
No, we're not there yet. But also a romantic entanglement with the ancient cursed Sukuna from literally hundreds
of guy's body?
Yes, the thing from hundreds of years ago. So I was really confused, and I kept watching it because I was waiting for her to explain how the fuck she's in an entanglement with both of them. Because I was like, how do you go for both of them? One's a 20-year-old. And then she was also in high school with the high schoolers. But she also went to high school with Gojo somehow. So she did all three.
Super senior!
Yes! That's all I have to say. It was so funny. She was simultaneously like an adult, teenager, and like ancient spirit all at the same times. And I would keep watching because I was like, I have to know. I have to know. I must know how where this goes now. I must know the answer. And I never found out my answer. And I tried finding her again to see if I could, and I couldn't find her. So she's gone forever now, and I'll never know. And I'll never know now. I'll just never know.
You've just given me my topic for next week.
What okay, I won't leave it. That's perfect because we're going into music and then we're done.
Okay.
What you got any music for this week?
I've been listening to a bit of Billie Eilish this week.
Ooh, which ones?
But not her new stuff.
Which ones?
From her When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go album. I've been listening to a lot of like I Love You.
Okay.
I Love You.
I can't remember the name of the song right now, but I really like the song that's like one big word, but it's like a bunch of words jammed into
I Don't Want to Be You Anymore.
That one. I can never remember the name of it.
There'd be swimming pools filled by models.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I also have Billie Eilish on my list, and you're going to be mad at me, and the viewers will eventually be mad at me, because this is going to be a song that you're going to hear many times throughout this podcast history. Brooke, what song is it? Go ahead.
Chihiro.
No, it's not
Blue.
Chihiro.
No, sorry, Billie Eilish Blue.
There it is, Billie Eilish Blue.
Billie Eilish Blue.
Blue's back in the roster, back in the roster, baby.
Back in the roster, yeah.
And podcast viewers, you will find out next month when it's back in the roster again, and you have to hear me talk about it every month, twice a month, that it is going to be around. And you're going to get real sick and tired of me saying how much I like Billie Eilish Blue, but I love Billie Eilish Blue.
See, because for the people, for the viewers, for the people at home, me and Riley have been friends since second year of college.
Yep.
And
for reference, we're in our graduating year, and we're graduating.
As soon as we got... Yeah, we are graduating next week. The week that this comes out.
Yes,
we'll have been
we will have been graduated.
On the Wednesday.
Yes, we will.
Like as soon as we got into third year, a few months in, it's like November at this point. Riley decides, for the worst, to watch Heartstopper. And Riley comes into school one day, and I go, "Girl, what's wrong?" Heartstopper has kickstarted a downward spiral into Conan Gray and Billie Eilish Blue.
Yeah.
Back in second year, you could ask Riley, "Oh, who's your top artist on Spotify?" Number one would always be Beyonce.
Number two was Doja Cat.
Exactly, and you just, it was all these pop artists with these loud, like upbeat, like not even upbeat sometimes, but like, you know, just like these loud songs. And then Riley comes in one day and is like, "Hey, so my Apple Music's telling me that my top artist is Billie Eilish and all these other sad artists."
That was our first red flag.
That was the first red flag, and that's, yeah. I thought it was hilarious, but every single day Riley would walk in and go, "Guess what I'm listening to? And guess what's getting me through this Chris lecture? And guess what's getting me..." And I was like, "Billie Eilish Blue."
It was always Billie Eilish Blue. Billie Eilish Blue got me through the worst times in college. I love that song. My next song on my song playlist isn't a song, it's a soundtrack. I've been listening to the Kate Gurry soundtrack because I've been watching Kate Gurry again.
Are you gonna watch the live action one?
I am after I finish my watch through, and I'm thinking of making a video on them. So I'm planning on making a video on them because I hear the Kate Gurry live action bet is really good. So I'm planning on talking about what makes it a good live action and what doesn't.
I only see clips of that one guy from TikTok that got on the show.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the show actually, so I wouldn't even begin to know.
He's the one that like collects people's fingernails.
That's a guy in that rendition? That's a girl in the anime.
Yeah, they decided to make it that guy off TikTok. I sent you
that
TikTok.
Well, they made,
and
I think
they
made Mary Black in it, didn't they? Didn't they make one of the characters a black female character? Yeah, that was interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm fine with it.
In America?
It might. I don't know. I know literally nothing about Bat. I know nothing about Bat.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I'm always pro for more diversity. And also, making the psychopath who collects nails is probably a better thing to do than making a woman collect nails. Probably societally, we need that more. Probably societally, we need that more.
The only, contact I've had with Kakaguri is you, when we play Repo, and your name is Yumiko Giovanni or whatever.
I love Kakaguri.
And when the love potion makes me say, "Oh, I'm so in love with
Yumiko Giovanni."
I don't know who that is.
And it says it right. I love that it says it right, by the way. It says it right. And I'm like, that's awesome. They programmed that right. You got any extra songs?
Well, let's see
Go, she's
here.
gotta cook. She's gotta cook.
I see, because like the thing is that where you change up songs every once in a while, I stick for a long time. I'm like slime. I stick to your carpet.
I stick
But
to
I
your carpet.
have,
Ew, ew. I
I
hate
think
that now that
so.
I've said that back out loud.
I have been listening, and a few rock fans will get mad at me for this, but I have been
Oh,
listening to Frank Ocean's American Wedding
Frank Ocean isn't
because it's
rock, is he?
no, I mean no, because I don't know if Hotel California is like a rock thing, but like the older folks. So what Frank Ocean's American Wedding is that he sampled the backtrack for
Yes, I do
Hotel
know this.
California,
I do know this.
and he made his own song out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. The way that he says like hijab's wrong and
That's
like
the
all of this other
part on
stuff.
American Girls one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
like how he's saying that like they're in the land of the free and like the home of the brave and like whatever.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend can't even tell her parents that they got married because she's not brave and she's not free.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just like this whole thing. I can't stop listening.
My next song is Noah Khan, Call Your Mom. Love that song.
Mm-hmm.
It got me so good because I watched a Thunderbolts edit. If you don't know, I went to Thunderbolts. Love Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a Yelena Thunderbolts edit, and it had that song in the background, and it instantly turned something on my brain, and I'm like, I really like that song. I'm going to go listen to that song nonstop now for a week. But hey, next week we get to go through my Apple Music recap. We get to go through that together. And yeah, we get to do the recap. That's what we'll do for the music time of the week, and we get to see what I actually have been listening to and where the fuck I'm at. And this month is crazy, dude. I'm telling you, this month is all fucking over the place. This one is going to be a big one. And then my final song of the week is One Thing, Lil Young again, because I actually want to bring to a point that people hate on this song because it's a fat girl singing about being sexy and everyone's mad at her. And I don't think I did the right service. I talked about how so I let a girl be a girl, but I think it's really interesting because someone made a point online, and I really like this point where if this song was written and sang by Tate McRae, y'all would not be having an issue with it. Y'all would be bumping to it. Y'all would be having a great time to it. Y'all would find it such a sexy and mystique song. But because it's a bigger girl singing about having a fucking positive sex time and having a really raunchy sexual integration, you're all calling it gross and disgusting, and you all have an issue with it. But if it was someone like Tate McRae or fucking Ariana Grande singing about it, y'all would not have a fucking issue. Y'all would not have a fucking issue, and I thought that was important to clock. I think y'all need to leave fucking Lola Young alone. Let her be a woman. Let her have fun. She's gonna make fun fucking music. She makes fun fucking music, and let her have fun. And that's my music of the week.
I've been seeing a lot of like sponsored videos on my TikTok For You page for her.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a phone number you can call in America or something.
It's just me going, keep doing it. It's just me on the phone. Keep doing it, girl. You're doing great, sister. You're doing great. I support you. I support you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so actually, and just as a teaser for next week before I sign off, our next week's topic is going to be graduation, our word of the week. So get excited because we're graduating. So next week we'll talk about all things graduation related. Maybe we should start the episode off with that and then do our topics afterwards. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We're a new podcast. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out our stuff. We'll get into our groove.
We can just talk about what happened at graduation and who's fumbled.
Who fumbled the bag, because we all know who's gonna fumble it. Anyways, I have been Enigma Bazaar, and this is my co-host Brooke.
Hello.
And we're Crashout Queens. Goodbye.